Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the Short Attention Span Garage. This is the May 2023 update on the Cobra build. Didn't have a whole lot of progress because when I first started cranking the engine over, I noticed that there was a weird grinding noise coming from inside the bell housing area. So I completely took out the transmission and bell housing and bought a new clutch, flywheel, and spacer plate that goes between the bell housing and the engine. I got a separate video on that. I'll link it below in the description if you haven't seen it yet. Ultimately, that took place, and also while I had everything out, I moved the e-brake. As you can see here, that was where the e-brake hole was. I can't reach it, so I moved it. And you can kind of see around there, I got just some bracketry. This is the Factory 5 e-brake kit, except for this piece way down here. That's custom. I made that. You can kind of see what's going on now. But that angled bracket, bolted it right to the tubing. The way that this bolt right here used to pull on cables, now it pulls on that piece of linkage I made up to this universal e-brake cable kit I got from some 4x4 outfit on the internet. And then I made this bracket as well that holds these two cables in place. But as you can see, it all works. I'm pulling it from a weird angle so that I don't get a lot of leverage on it, but it definitely, if I'm sitting in the seat, I can reef on it and really get a good stop on it. But I'm happy with how it works, and it's plenty of clearance from the transmission. So I'm not using that speedo connector, so that's actually not in the way anyway. It goes a little bit below that bar that I made, but GPS speedo in these kits, so irrelevant. I just left it in there. But basically, after I got the clutch and everything replaced, bolted up, cranked it over, sounded a lot cleaner, and then I put it all back together. And I got to tell you, putting this transmission in was a bear. I used my shop crane with a long 2x4 on the end of it and ratchet straps, because the way to drop the transmission out of here is you basically got to lower the bell housing and the transmission together to get everything out, because I can't get the transmission back far enough for the pinion for the input shaft to clear the end of the bell housing. Either way, I got it, I replaced it, and like I said, separate video for that. The only other thing that is worth writing home about was I got it running. Also, separate video, I'll link below, but fuel pressure, I replaced the spark plug leads because the ones that I had were pretty crappy. Kind of wish I would have went with one of those kits you can design, because this was just for a Mustang, and as you can see, this is kind of the best I could lay them out, and some of them are a little stupid. Either way, new cables. I also had to drain all the coolant out because these connectors, these tubing connectors that Factory 5 gives you, this is not that. That is a 1 3/4 to 1.5 reducer that I made out of a piece of tubing I got at AutoZone, or Advanced Auto, or one of them places. But the stuff that comes with, that's one of the ones that comes with, that's 1 3/4 diameter. It's really hard rubber, which is weird. If you use that and you need to neck it down to 1.5 inches, they give you these rubber sleeves to assume the difference. That's a load of crap, because that's exactly where it leaked. Down here, because I had to neck the radiator side down to 1.5 inches, and it was dripping like crazy. So I had to drain 3.5 gallons out of the system to change one stupid thing. So do yourself a favor, don't use them. Unless you're going 1 3/4 to 1 3/4, which is what the input to the water pump is. So, oh, also, clutch master cylinder. This used to be a 3/4 diameter piston. The problem was the clutch sweep, damn near the entire sweep was the friction zone. I'm not going to get into hydronic or hydraulic theory, but basically, if you want to lower your friction zone with a hydraulic clutch, this needs to be a lot larger than the slave cylinder. If you think about it, this is 1 1/4 inches, or an inch and 1/8. When the piston goes in, whatever the stroke distance is, it's going to push on the slave cylinder and move that much fluid. If that slave cylinder was the same diameter, it would have the same linear distance. Problem is it doesn't. This is a 7/8 cylinder. So if that goes in 1 inch, this will go out 1 1/4 inches, 1.5 inches maybe. I didn't measure it. All I know is I wanted it to go more. The only problem is now when I push on the clutch, it's actually not really a problem, but the clutch is a lot stiffer. That's a stiff spring to begin with in the clutch. So now when I push in that pedal, the seat slides backwards. I don't have it bolted down. I thought it was kind of funny. I'll put a box of kitty litter behind there for the time being so it doesn't move. I don't want to bolt the seat down until I get the body on. Anyway, that's it for May. June goals are dash complete, installed. I got my clear coat paint for that, for the carbon fiber project, and then I'll do a separate video for that. I had my little grocery list here. Yep, balance bar for the brakes. I got the clutch swapped. Doing the roll bars now, basically bolting them in place, dash, and then I got to finish the front wiring, horn, fan, lights. Just want to get that done. And then I can continue with where I left off before body mounting. Final body mounting, all that stuff. No, wait, that's way ahead of the game. No, that's about where I am. Anyway, later, everybody.